Hi, welcome to Kickstart TV again. This is Amin, and with me today we have the beautiful Li Kheng. All right, welcome to Kickstart.
Thank you.
And we are right here now in Inspire FM studio. All right, and this is before our podcast session with Inspire FM. So, Li Kheng, can you please tell us a little bit more about you and what do you do
before this? Okay. Well, my name is Li Kheng. I am Malaysian. I studied in Switzerland, École Hôtelière de Lausanne for hospitality management. Then after that, I worked in Ritz-Carlton Kuala Lumpur, in Nikko Hong Kong, Metro Park Hong Kong, and then I came back to Park Royal Kuala Lumpur. These are including internship and short careers, I would say. Then my big career started one day in year 2004 when my mom just called me and asked me, what do you think of going to Shanghai and run the family business there? And I'm like, when I was driving in the car. So that was how that career started. And I've been in Coffee Bean, Shanghai for 8 years. Then after that, we have currently sold the business.
Okay. I've been told that when you took over the family business a few years back, it was actually going down.
It was
like
going bankrupt actually.
So how do you manage to build it up from just like what, 2 outlets to where it is now today?
Well, from 2 outlets to 35 outlets. How? A lot of people like to ask how. So I will start with why.
Okay.
So when I went to Shanghai, I really had no idea what was going to happen. I never did management work. I was a sales executive in Park Royal for the banquet department. And so when I went there, to turn around a company was like, to me, I don't even begin to know how to describe it. So I would say that I went on a plane and just said, I'll just do my best, be open. And when I landed, I went to the stores and I saw staff that don't even wear their uniform properly. Like their uniform was like the polo t-shirt, the collar was all turned in, and they were not even wearing their caps. It was just plumped onto their head. And to me, back in the school, hospitality, how you look, how you present yourself, how you present your store is very, very important. So I think I didn't know what to do. So I started with what I knew. And I knew how to serve. I knew how to interact with people who serve. And I liked customer, and I know how to make coffee. From Coffee Bean, I was trained in Malaysia. So I just started with what I knew and what I can. So I think that was one of my first lessons, because sometimes people will say, okay, I need to learn. I need to learn from people on how to manage it. I need to go and meet more people before I can do something. So that conditions permit, and then I'm ready to do the job. But I believe that yes, that is necessary to know the gap of what we still need to do. However, we need to start with what we have.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first lesson, to start with what I have and then to strive for what more I need to do.
Wow, so it's basically what I'm learning from this is that you go with what you know first.
Yes.
And then things will just unfold on its own.
Yes.
Right.
And naturally, you just know more every day.
So what would be, if there is one success factor in terms of how you turn the business around, what would that be?
I would say commitment.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times, we have a goal. And if it's an important or big enough goal, it's not easy to just get there. We need to be committed. And that's why I went on with why. Why we want to achieve this goal. So once we've got that reason very clearly established, then we keep focused on it, and we will fall, we will be stopped, obstacles will come along the way, challenges will come every day. And just keep going. Be committed to your own vision, to be committed to your own dream. So actually, on the why, I didn't have a why. I just went on the plane, and then I just went there and I started on just getting along. And I have never experienced so much rejection, so much, in a way, ridicule. People like, oh, what, coffee what? Like, oh, you're the same as Starbucks, or those type of things, in a way it can be hurtful. And I was always begging, like, oh, could you meet with me, could you consider my store in your location? Even the lousiest location, I'll be begging. And I'll be like hoping, okay, this location really looks not good. I would not open a coffee shop there, but under desperate conditions, I would even be nice and try to even secure this location. And my first why, it may not even make sense today, but those days it really drove me. My why was I wanted to obtain choices for my company. I wish that one day Coffee Bean made choices. And with that little why, and with the very short period, a very intense period of failures and rejection, I got the most rewarding result. I got to open my flagship store in Xintiandi.
Okay.
And Xintiandi is the address in Shanghai. And many times, any tourist who've been to Shanghai would have visited Xintiandi, would know of Xintiandi. Yeah.
If there is a model of success, or there's someone that you look up to in terms of a role model in entrepreneurship, who would that be and why?
It'll be my mother.
Okay.
Because my mother embodies a lot of characteristic that I believe made her who she is today. And my mother has one thing taught me, look at results. That is not subjective, that's pretty objective. And she's got, to me, desirable results. She's respected in the community, and she has benefited and helped so many people. From business people all the way to just families. I have seen people's life become better because of something she shared with them. And so I admire that. I believe that our lives is actually much more rich when it has benefited or impacted others in a positive way.
Cool. One final question.
Yes.
Right. You sold the business, and I heard now you have turned yourself to a farmer or something like that. So you want to talk a little bit about that, about what you're doing currently right now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I have dedicated 8 years of my life to Coffee Bean, and I am very, very glad I had that opportunity. I learned and experienced so much. But I think we should always check in on ourselves, take a stop, have a look, and then make a new choice, and then get into action again. I would say that I needed to take a stop with Coffee Bean, and I'm glad that that came to a good conclusion. And I took time for myself, and for me, I do believe in spirituality always. And so I came back and started to work in Kachara. Kachara is a Buddhist organization, and there I wanted to learn and to just take some time for myself. And I really have strong faith in my guru. So one day my guru just said, Li Kheng, why don't you go into the green project of planting and green work, greening our forest retreat in Chamang, Bentong. And then I was like, I kill cactuses, in my mind. Like, oh my goodness, can you imagine? And actually, I only found out later, when my mother found out, she was so scared because there was 34 acres of land. And she said, what are we going to do with 34 acres of dead green plants?
Okay.
But anyways, I just believe in my guru. That my guru will always set me in a journey or a path that it only will benefit me. And if I'm lucky enough, benefit others. So I started to plant, and the journey was really great. The most peaceful time, and I miss my green work when I'm away. I still go back to Shanghai every month to help with the new owners. I miss the green work. I miss being in touch with nature. I think it discharges the negative energies we sometimes accumulate. So the planting activity is really great. I've learned to love it, and plants are growing. I'm growing vegetables naturally. So that's I will define it as the surface change and surface growth. But inside, I think that's what's more important. I may not do green work in this form forever, because look at our own lives, it's changed and taken different environments, different countries for me, different roles. But who I am will impact every role I take on, wherever I am, whomever I'm with. So I've learned tolerance and patience and openness. Why? Mother Nature taught me this. I believe Mother Nature is the most tolerant element in the world we know, as she has tolerated so much of our non-understanding. and sometimes our negligence and recklessness. I would say patience, because sometimes I want a little plant to grow faster. But you know, the more I look at it every day, it doesn't seem to grow. Then with time, I said I can't force it to grow faster. So I developed to say I will give it the time to grow. And then after a while, I appreciate other things that were around. And when I came back to this plant, it has grown and is beautiful. So patience is not non-urgent. We still have to be urgent and optimize every moment we have, because it is not much. We have very little time. And we have so many traffic jams and queues to take up our time. So whatever that's really left for us and the people we care about is even less. So be urgent about time, not a moment to lose. And open-mindedness, because sometimes we like to have things go this way, that way, you know. I like my coffee to be this temperature and to go through the machine for how many seconds. In nature, you can't tell a tree to say your left branch lacks 1 inch to be equal to your other branch. You can't do that. You have to accept and appreciate nature as it is. And so I learned to be more open to that. And I also, with the openness, learned to appreciate what I would not have, what I would have missed. So that.
Is there any way for the Kickstart members to be involved in this project?
Yes. Actually, I'm passionately involved in the Sponsor a Tree campaign,
Okay.
whereby members can actually come to my place and plant a tree themselves for an experience of their own. Or they can go online to vajrasecrets.com, VAJRA secrets.com.
We're going to have that printed up on the screen of the right? Yeah, okay, so that's all
Yeah.
good, all right? Okay, cool. Thank you very much for spending your time with us.
Thank you.
All right, we had great response for your session in Kickstart, and we hope we can see you again in the future.
Of course.
All right? Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, and we'll see you again, guys.